Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, I'm Tanya with yanxa.creations, and tonight I just want to walk you through how I've been able to create rhinestone templates in Cricut Design Space. So I was able to create this template, my do your thing line, inside of Cricut Design Space, and to do this I went and I simply got a font, a rhinestone font from Creative Fabrica, and you just need to make a few adjustments inside of Cricut Design Space in order to fit the size stones that you want. And here's my shirt. But even more, I was able to create this design in Cricut Design Space. So there's a wine bottle and a wine glass, and I was able to do that in Cricut Design Space by creating an 8x8 grid of holes that is ready for SS10. So I'm going to go and show you exactly what I did in Cricut Design Space to actually get a template to create this shirt. What do you need to do to size that template correctly? How did I get this particular template with my wine bottle and my wine glass? I'm going to show you exactly how I hacked the system to get that done. So if you're interested, stick around. Don't leave. It's going to be good. Now that we've downloaded our font from Creative Fabrica, we're going to go into Design Space and create our template. So we're going to utilize the font pretty much the way we would utilize any font that we would install. So I'm going to go ahead and just type my name, and then we will go ahead and look for our font. RSO2. Okay, here's our font. Okay. Okay, there you go. You have your rhinestone font applied to your text. But now we need to size it based on our rhinestone choice. So I'm going to be using SS10 rhinestones. And so we're going to now size this font so that our rhinestones can fit perfectly into it. So what we're going to do, we're going to come over to shapes, and we're going to pick a circle. And we're going to come up to size. So the SS10 rhinestones are around 2.8 millimeters. And so we're going to change this to around 3 millimeters. And as you can see, this is in inches. So we're going to come up to the left corner where we have our 3 lines. We're going to click on that and go to settings. And we're just going to go to canvas and change our units to metric. And we are going to set this to, we've set this to 0.3 centimeters, which is 3 millimeters. And so let's change the color here. Let's select this as being red. And then we're going to bring this over to our design. So let's bring this over to our design. And now we are going to size our design so it fits right onto this circle. And that way we will have the correct settings. So let's size it. And let's overlay. So we can size it down just a little bit more. And there you go. It is that simple to use the fonts. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upload an 8x8 grid to accommodate SS10 10 rhinestones. Now it's going to come in on canvas a lot larger than it should be. So we're going to go ahead and take that down. So in order for this to fit the SS10 rhinestones, this grid needs to be 8.2. Let's open this here. This grid needs to be 8.2 by 8.6. So where did I get this grid? So I went into Inkscape and I created this particular grid as an SVG, and then I'm now importing it into Cricut Design Space in order for me to create any template that I would like. So how are we going to use this? So these holes are already set for SS10, as long as the size of our grid is 8.2 by 8.6. So let's go with a very simple shape. So let's go over to shapes and let's pick a star. So we want to get that star, and we can make the star as big as we want, but we just need to keep it inside of this grid. So we can position this perhaps to get some of our points right over our circles. And then we are going to go ahead and select our rhinestone template. And we're going to slice. It is that simple. Of course, we're going to have to do a few little things to clean it all up. Okay, our slice feature actually just kicked in. So we're going to go ahead and delete. Going to go ahead and delete our grid. We can delete this. Delete. And then here is our template. Now, if you take this template, so this is actually going to be perfect to fit your SS10 rhinestones. But if you go ahead and cut this at this particular point, the star will get cut right out of, whether you're going to be cutting it on cardstock, glitter cardstock, or you're going to be using the rhinestone template material, it's going to cut it out of that material completely because you have all of these cut lines on the edges. So to get rid of the cut lines and to keep your template onto your form, whether it's going to be your cardstock, what you will need to do is to go ahead and click on this, go to contour. Okay, it's populating. All of these lines on the edges, if we do not get rid of them, they are actually going to be cut out by your Cricut, and you will have it cut right out of your rhinestone flock. The only thing that you want cut out from your flock are the holes. And so we need to actually go ahead and contour away the star. So we've done that. So when you come back, all you have are your holes. So this is essentially how you will be able to create it in Cricut Design Space. So what if we had something a little bit more complicated? So let's take a look at the design that we had on our t-shirt. And let's go to our uploads. So the design I'm using is our wine design that I got from Creative Fabrica. So let's bring that onto canvas. And it's an SVG, so we can go ahead and take out the parts that we want. So these are the three pieces from that entire wine glass, wine bottle SVG that we got from Creative Fabrica. So I'm going to go ahead and release them. I'm going to ungroup them so I can use them individually to get my rhinestone template. So let me go ahead and pick the wine glass only. And I'm going to size this down. So remember, whatever size you choose the wine glass to be at this particular time, you cannot adjust the size once you have sliced it, because the holes that come from this slice will be perfect for the SS10 rhinestones. So whatever size you choose it to be right now, that's the size you're going to need to keep it at. So let's make this a little bit bigger so we can see properly what we're doing. So one of the things that you will want to do is to position your wine glass in such a way that right around the edges, you are getting some holes. So you are going to find that you are missing some holes once you cut it out. You have the option of putting back the holes or just working with the outline. So I'm also positioning it so that the stem of the glass falls right on the center of these holes right here, so that I have enough holes to represent my stem. And then we want to cover as many holes as possible right here. So this looks pretty good to me. Looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and select my template and the wine glass at the same time and go ahead and slice them. We have our slice. So let's get rid of the things that we don't need. So this portion of it, we don't need it. So we're going to go ahead and delete it. So we can use this portion as our template, or we can use this piece. All right. But for the time being, we're going to go ahead and hide both of them and cut the rest of our pieces. So the next thing that we want to do, okay, no, let's bring back one of these pieces. All right. So we want to go ahead and remove the portion of this that will represent our wine. So let's size this properly. I'm going to size it. So we don't want to size it in a way that it's going to take away from our edge, from the holes from the edge. All right, that looks good. And we're going to select this. And we're going to select our wine glass. And we're going to slice it. So this is our... So the only thing left for us to do now, there's our wine bottle. We're going to basically do the same. Let's just size it, and whatever size we have it at, that's where we are going to need to keep it. So let's size that up some more. Okay, let's bring it forward. Bring to front. And we're going to do the same thing where we try to position everything so that we get as much coverage of our holes as possible. A little bit more narrow so we can get it as best as possible. Okay, that looks good. So we're just going to go ahead and select our template again. And we're going to go ahead and slice. So let's get rid of what we don't need. So that's our template right there. And we can get rid of our grid. We don't need our grid. So this is what we're going to use to create the design on my t-shirt. This is it. So we have a few other cleanup things that we need to do. Now, if we go ahead and we cut everything just like this, we will be able to put in our rhinestones and create our design. The problem that we're going to have with it this way is we're not going to only cut out the holes, but we're going to end up removing the entire wine glass from the rhinestone flock, because we have all of these cut lines around the edges. So the wine bottle and the wine glass themselves are going to cut out, and we don't want that. The only thing we want are the holes in our rhinestone flock. So in order to fix that, what we're going to do is, it's selected, so we're going to go to contour. And it's going to take a little while because of the number of holes that we have. And we're just going to remove the outline so that the only thing we have would be holes. If we don't do that, then the Cricut is going to cut out all of these edges right here. We don't want that. So we're going to remove it. And all we have are our holes. Perfect. So this is all that the Cricut will cut out. So we're going to go ahead and do it for our bottle and our wine glass. All right. So as you can see, when we remove the edges, we lost a few of our holes, but that's no big deal. We can totally fix that. So we lost a hole from here. We may have lost one here, but it looks great. We might not need to put it back. So we don't have to actually fix these. We might put a hole right here. We could do that, but we don't have a lot of losses. But for those that we've lost, we can go ahead and fix it. We just need to come over here into shapes, select a circle. Okay, so our holes are 3 millimeters wide. So we just need to go ahead and turn this into 0.123 inches, which is going to be 3 millimeters wide. And then we're going to duplicate this circle as many times as we need, hopefully not many. And let's take this circle and let's put it right here. And we fixed it. So we said we might put another circle right here. And that's it, guys. Let's weld it so it becomes completely a part of the project. There we go. So we can move it around. Okay, so let's take our wine glass, and we might need to do some fixing for this as well. Hopefully not too much fixing, and we're gonna contour it. All right, so we're gonna have to take away two pieces here. So we're gonna take away this inner piece, and we're going to take away the wine glass itself. So we can just click on it from here, and we can take that away. And that is it. So again, you can see we have a couple of pieces missing from here. So we can fix that again by just duplicating this. And we're going to go ahead and get our wine glass and weld it. So let me go ahead and grab this, and I want this to be tilted. So let's go ahead and do that. It's tilted some more. That looks good to me. All the individual pieces, and we have them where we want them to be, so we can go ahead and cut them. So let's go ahead and attach everything. And let's make it. So here we are able to put that on our mat. So as I said, you could be using rhinestone flock or glitter cardstock, which is what I'm going to be using. But as you can see, you will have a proper template when you are finished. All right, everybody. I hope that was great. I hope you learned how you could actually make your own text templates in Cricut Design Space. And even more interesting is to create your own template with shapes. I was really excited when I realized that if I did my 8x8 grid in Cricut Design Space, then I could create my own designs. So I'm really enjoying my wine t-shirt, and I hope you will be able to make some really great things with this template. So if you're interested in using this template, I'm going to leave a link to it in my description box, and that link will take you directly to it on the front page of my website. My website is sort of under construction, but you will be able to find it very easily there. So I hope you enjoyed it, and happy designing in Cricut Design Space.